that cost you, that made you not finish school, you become a failure. That was the word the Holy Spirit dropped in my heart. And I pondered on it. Do you know what I did? I went back to where I did my IT. I asked them, please don't pay me. Let me work for free. I was working for free for them from 8, the cyber cafe, and it's a cyber cafe that gives broadband internet to banks and big hotels, because then internet was not that rampant. I would go and work for them from 8 to like 2. Then from 2 to 8, I had access to unlimited internet. I would stay on limited internet and I would study. I will learn coding, learn programming, refine my skills, and right from under their nose, I launched my first startup, my first company, which we rebranded to Kedros, and where we built products and all that for people. Got my first major contract under them. The clarity is, I was not okay with where I was. Nobody was coming to help me. I had to take action. I had to do something. I think the reason why we are comfortable where we are is because we have an option. We have option A, option B, option C. If you don't have lives of option, maybe if you are in a fix, that is why they say pressure brings out the best in people rather than comfort. If you are okay with where you are, maybe probably you can go on with your life. Get maybe your 3 square meal, pay children's school fees, live an average life, you just die, and maybe that's what you're looking for. But if you are not okay with where you are, you don't need any motivation to change. If you're looking for motivation, you're not ready for change, you can as well live a mediocre life and go ahead. You can continue what you're doing. But if you really want to change, come on. The change you desire should be the obsession you have in your mind. Hey, your vision determines your outcome. And if you want to have a better outcome, you have to be clear with your vision. Now, when you've had clarity with your vision, well, of course, there are different ways to set goals. You hear the SMART framework, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Those are frameworks you can actually use to come up with a better vision. But then I usually will break it down to 3 areas. Excuse me. I have business goals. That's what I want to achieve personally. I have family and health, my family and my health. And then I have my spiritual. Now, I'll find out that they overlap. But once I'm clear with this, it affects how I do everything. I'll give you an example. So, Emo, I used to play ball. So I'm a sports person, right? I play ball. I'm enthusiastic about sports. With what happened with my dad, healthy person, and suddenly he fell sick, it became keen to me that if I'm going to have a better outcome, I will take my health seriously. What did I do? As simple. I started engaging in habits that I do every year that will affect that outcome. Now, it's important to know when you set your goals, you try to, the first one is your vision, right? You set your goals, what you want to achieve. The second part is the strategy you use in executing it. Where people have issue is they focus on the outcome and not the steps. They focus on the outcome and not what they have to do every day to get the results. Consistency is boring. Let's call a spade. But that's what I thrive in. I can do one thing every day for the next 10 years, and I will not be bored. This is where your outcome is. The outcome you seek is in your routines. So you have the vision, you set the big vision, you are clear about what you want to achieve. The next thing you should do is, what do you have to do every day to get that result? Instead of thinking about big, you've gotten the big picture, break it down to steps. What can you do now, every day, that will get to your result? The point, we are looking at the outcome and we forget that it's in the routine. The outcome, if you change your habits, you change your routine, you change your life. That's the secret that people don't know. Your outcome is in your routine. If you can show me what you do every day, with data analysis, I can tell you the outcome you have in the next 3 months. Without maybe outside the gut factor, right? If I see what you do every day, with data, I can tell you how your life will turn out. It's as simple as that. You have your vision clear. What do you do? This is a strategy. What do you do every day that will get you that result? For these big goals you have, what are you doing every day that will get you your result? Remember I said, The biggest shift you're looking for is in a simple change in your mindset and routine. I'll give you an example. What I just did today what I did in my year was to get a big board in my room. So I know I have iPad and all these gadgets where I type my goals and all that, but I needed to have an holistic view of it. So I wake up in the morning, I look at my business goals, what I'm supposed to do, I write it down, I can see it, I can see the interdependencies. That simple shift of just bringing a board in my room have increased my productivity more than 70%. I do the things that are necessary, considering their interdependency. I do it effectively because I'm seeing it on a wider screen and I'm writing it. And there's something writing does to my mind, apart from just typing it on iPad and all this digital stuff. That simple thing that I did has affected my productivity. I didn't have to do more. So you have your big vision, clear. You have that thing you want to do. Break it down to smaller parts. What can you do now consistently that can get you your results? And when you are doing that thing, forget about the outcome. Focus on your routine. Because in your routine, you get the outcome you are looking for. And then you talk about, I always talk about when you are executing, right? Now that you set this routine, part of what will give you clarity or what will give you confidence that you're in the right path is having people who you look up to. I'll give you an example. The scripture will say that we look at the image and then we are transformed to that image from glory to glory, right? You are looking at something. Maybe you're doing something in line with your goals. You are not seeing the result out immediately because it's routine. They say 1,000 drops, a drop of water makes a mighty ocean. Consistently, you might not see the impact of what you're doing, but to keep you inspired, look at someone who has the outcome you're looking for and then fixate on the person's outcome. I'm not saying you should copy. No. See what you could become while in that routine. Because routine, doing things that you do consistently can be boring. And I'm being very real. But in order for you to stay afloat, in order for you to, leave that depth of lack of motivation, while you are doing those routines, you may not see the results. This is where the compounding effect comes in. You are doing it consistently, you might not see the outcome, you might not see the result, but as you continue with it, the outcome will come. So that you don't lose motivation, fixate on the person that is actually achieving what you hope to achieve. In my industry, I have people who I look up to. In marriage, I have people who I look up to. I see their marriage and I want to have this family. In my finances, every area, I have people I am tailoring, I am looking up to. When I see them, I know that these little routines I'm doing now is going to add up to something. So it's important we have that. Someone is saying image makers, as I can see. If you're going to have a good year, I'm going to break it down to the things you do. It begins with your mornings. People don't know this. You wake up in the morning, the things you do. We're now in a generation where technology is a distraction. Technology is a blessing, but technology is a distraction. You wake up in the morning, you don't even sit down and meditate. You just wake up in the morning, you want to check out your last post, how many responses, how many DMs. You wake up in the morning, be at peace with yourself, be at peace with your being, be at peace with God, be at peace with your spirit, and meditate. Think about the year, think about the day, think about the things you want to do. Meditate and say your prayers if you're a Christian, but be at peace early in the morning. Leave your phones alone. I know it might look as if I should be talking to young people, but I tell you the truth. Technology has eaten deep to people. And I understand, since I'm in tech, I tell you, these apps are intentionally designed to have that psychological impact on you. It was intentional. Go and read a book called Hooked. You will find out that the notification sound, how it was done, how the notifications were designed, are designed to distract you naturally. They're designed to keep you engaged and addicted. That's their goal. So don't give them opportunities to distract you from their goals when they are achieving theirs. You wake up in the morning, plan your routine, have a quiet time, plan your day. This is not even it's not new. You've heard it 1,000 times. Well, are you actually putting in the effort to do it? Plan your day, analyze your routines. Now you've planned your day. What did you do yesterday? What worked? What can you improve on? You cannot actually improve what you're not measuring. It is actually what gets measured that gets improved. So if you're going to have a great year, no, my time is almost up. If you're going to have a great year, have the big vision, know exactly what you want to achieve. And I tell you, you don't need motivation. Like, I look at my children personally, when I see my 2 kids, man, I want them to have a better life. I want them to have a better life. I want them to have advantage. Like, if you don't know, the advantages you leave for your children is the advantages they thrive on. I keep asking myself, if not that my daddy had this heart disease, what advantage would I have had? I mean, I said we're going to a private university, that was an advantage. So I'm thinking, what can I do now to ensure I give my kids an advantage? That's enough motivation for me, personally. So if your goals don't motivate you, if there's no strong why for you, then you might just be a normal individual. But for your goals to thrive, you have to have a consistent, self-ignited motivation. You don't need an external factor to motivate you. You don't need someone outside to motivate you. Your goal, the outcome, and the result you seek is enough to drive your motivation. Secondly, those big visions, turn them to small, actionable actions that you can take consistently. I believe in routines. Ensure you do something every day along the line of your growth that would lead you to your result. Ensure you do something every day in that line, no matter how small. Me, I know I'm always on the move. If I'm driving, I must read a book. When I'm not reading a book, I'm on audiobook. Recently, I just got some books on Audible, like 5 of them, 6 of them. I'm listening to them in line with what I do. My mind is refreshed. I try to infuse everything along the line of in my routines. I listen to audiobook. I listen to audio Bible. I read audiobooks if I need to. But ensure you put those goals in actionable formats that allow you to do them every day. Lastly, look at people who are there, who have achieved what you want to achieve. Focus on their outcome. Look at them. And every single time, just to add it up, people think copying is bad. Copying is not bad. In fact, if you copy, it's not easy to copy someone. I'm not saying copying should be the entirety of your being. But if something is working, copy it. Come on. We have Uber. Uber came up with a proprietary idea. Do you know how many competitors they have? Uber have been kicked out from China because they came to China, they worked in China, they understudied him, they kicked him out. They have lifts, they have Bolt. In fact, in Nigeria now, Bolt has more market share than Uber, and Uber is the originator of the idea. You can copy, and on top of the copy, you now add your essence. So if you see anything that is working, copy from people. Look at people who are going to where you want to be or who have gotten to where you want to go and copy from them. And learning from mentors, I wrote an article. If you really want to learn from mentors, a structured way to learn from mentors, you learn their skill sets, you learn their tool sets, you learn their value sets, you learn if you want to copy well from your mentors, their skill sets, their tool sets, their value sets, and their mindset. Their mindset is how they think. Their value set are values that actually that influence their decision. Their tool set is the thing they do, the frameworks they do that allow them get their results. And their skill set is how they engage those tools. I believe if you do all this, you're going to have a great year. Remember, the biggest shift you're looking for is in the smallest change in your mindsets and in your routines. If you could change your mind and change your routines in line with your goals, trust me, you'll have a fantastic year. Thank you for having me, Emo. I'll be here to answer any questions, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. I celebrate you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Tochukwu. Thank you, Mr. Justin. We are really grateful for these beautiful ideas and these bombs. Thank you for being straight to the point. Thank you for being, what is that word again? You know, you've shattered a lot of tables this morning, and I believe that all this knowledge that you have shared will do well in shaping a new dynamics for our business growth and our personal development as a whole. So one major thing that I think I took is the fact that you said that technologies were specifically designed to keep us on the platform. And if we observe, many of these tech platforms are free, which makes us the product. So what I took away is that we should make sure we don't get distracted from our own goals while they achieve their own goals. So it was designed to get us distracted from our goals and visions while we simultaneously help them achieve their own goals and visions. So thank you so much for that fantastic and for that awesome session, sir. We are really grateful. So without wasting much time, we would bring in our next speaker, joining us all the way from the United Kingdom, and we'll be playing our bio shortly. Thank you so much, everyone.
Linda Phams is the director. Primrose Healthcare Service Limited, a care company situated in the Surrey area, UK. Her leadership and business acumen has led the company to win various awards, including Best Domiciliary Company Surrey and Best Professional Care Company Surrey and the Leadership in Health and Social Care UK. She is also the founder and lead creative, Linda Phams Collections, a brand of fitness wears and waist trainers that retails across London, Nigeria, and the US. She is a passionate business and personal development speaker and features on leading women conferences and business entrepreneurs summits. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and make welcome Linda Phams.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I can see a lot of people who have invited, who have tuned in. I can see Sister Shade there. I can see Moji from Nigeria. I can see loads of people, my auntie and Shemai. I can see Uche, Sister Wemimo. I can see Tosin from Nigeria. I can see Yetunde from London. Thank you, guys. I can see my mom as well. Please, can you mute your mic so that we don't get distracted? Yeah, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you so much. We've had a wonderful, is it 4 to 5 days now of sessions with great, amazing people. Emo is my brother and he does amazing seminars. He organizes amazing seminars time to time, and he brings amazing people all the way from different parts of the country, and they have so much knowledge to give us that helps us and propels us to our next level. So thank you so much. There are certain things I picked from different people who have spoken. From Emo, who is my brother, he spoke about 5 barriers, and one of the barriers was pride. And I'm going to be touching on that as well, because sometimes we become so proud that we decide not to learn what we have to learn, or we decide not to learn from people who God has instructed us to learn from. I also took something from the person who spoke yesterday. He talked about fighting yourself. You get to a point in life, you want to move from one level to the next level, but you need to actually fight yourself out of that level. And he spoke about fighting yourself, and that was powerful. I think he spoke about 3 F's, but that resonated with me, fighting yourself. And today, the guy that spoke today, Tochukwu, he also talked about I talked about loads of things, but I talked about you envisioning yourself, making where you want to be your obsession. Instead of looking around at what people are doing and what people are not doing and what you have not achieved, look at where you want to go and make it an obsession for you. Make it the reason why you must wake up every morning and do well in life. So to bring me to my own topic, which is, making a big shift in your business. If you're starting a business or you're already into a business already, how do you want to prepare yourself and make a big shift into your business? Before you can make a big shift in anything you do, whether your personal life, business, your marriage, there are 5 buckets, 5 main buckets that must be filled to help you reach your human potential. There are 5 buckets, and I'll be taking you through those 5 buckets one after the other. Bear with me. Those 5 buckets have to be filled in a particular order. When you begin to mix those orders, or you want to jump past an order, is the reason why it seems like our lives are going in circles. I learned that a long time ago. So before I go into the 5 buckets, I'll give you a little bit of a background story to, where I am today and how I've come to, establish a care company that is thriving in the UK. I remember I used to work with a care company when I joined, when I came to the UK to join my husband. And, I moved in stages, from being a care worker to being an admin. I think I've said this story, in several TPC program seminars, but I'm sure some people are new here and they've not heard this story before. I moved from being a care worker to being an administrator, then to becoming, a peer to the director, managing, this was a big company, managing different branches. And then I became a registered manager. So now what led me to becoming a registered manager? I was sent to the council, on behalf of the company to go and represent the director. And the council director at the time, which this is Kingston Council, by the way, Kingston Council. The council director, because it was a 6-month program I was attending to represent our company. And the council at the time, they were so impressed with my output and they wanted to, employ me fully as an ambassador for care, because they were trying to run a program, and they wanted me to be an ambassador for care, knowing that I had the frontline experience and I also had the managerial experience and all of that. And they were enticing me with this big salary. They first of all asked me how much my salary was, and they enticed me with, a big salary. But I knew within me that it wasn't time yet. It wasn't time to move to my next level. And so I declined that offer. So what am I, that is just like a base to what I'm going to be talking about, because sometimes, I talked about the 5 buckets and I talked about filling them in the right order. Sometimes when we don't move our life in the right order and we want to jump past some certain steps, is the reason why it looks like we are moving in circles. I thank God today that I didn't take that offer, because possibly I would have been so relaxed working in the council, thinking I've gotten the best of my life, not knowing that God had a better plan for me to become an employer of labor, employing people from different parts of the world, India, Pakistan, Nigeria, Ghana, I didn't know that at that time, but I just knew that it wasn't time for me to move to the next level, and I declined that. And that helped me to gain more experience, more skills with the organization I was working with, because that was what led the company director to move me now from being a PA to the director to becoming a registered care manager and then a regional manager. I was managing several branches with registered managers under them and 500 staff. So that's the background story. So now let's go into what we have to talk about today. I'm talking about 5 buckets that would help you reach your full potential. Bucket number 1, what you know, knowledge. People underestimate knowledge. Knowledge is so important. It's the first step you ever must take. If you notice, when people are small and they're children, they have to go to school. Why? They have to gain knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is when you gain information, when you gain understanding. Even the Bible makes it clear in Hosea 4 verse 6. It says, the people perish because of lack of knowledge. What you don't know, you don't know. What you know, no one can take it away from you. So when you don't have knowledge, you begin to, do things the wrong way. For example, you want to start a business. You need to have knowledge about the type of business you want to go into. The cost, the Bible says, who will start a journey and not count the cost? The cost that is going to be involved, all of the technicalities, the policies that you need, all of the principal registrations you need, all of these things need to be, if you don't have knowledge about it, you will go the wrong way, you will start the wrong way, and that's what will make you struggle throughout the life of that business. You see, having worked in an organization and grown up the ladder, I was able to gain knowledge that helped me when I was now going to start our business. Myself and my husband gained that knowledge that helped us start the business, and we started right because we had the knowledge. We didn't have to go to anyone. A lot of people pay people, to consult for them and all of that. I didn't have to do all of that because I already gained that experience and that knowledge, by serving under someone. When God places people in your life and you're serving under them, it's a great opportunity God is giving to you to serve and gain knowledge and experience. Don't take it for granted. And don't underestimate such experience, because people pay dearly for those knowledge and experience. So if you're getting it on a platter of gold, be thanking God and do it well. There are different types of knowledge. There's a tacit knowledge, which is the knowledge that can be found from personal experience. You see, when you experience something yourself, you have the knowledge of it yourself. Nobody can tell you otherwise. You've been through it. And then sometimes you have to have knowledge again from learning from others, other people's experience. Just like I've told you my experience now, how I was humble enough to do what? To learn and not to jump the gun. When you want to jump the gun and move before your time, is the reason why it's like your life is at the beginning, it will seem like you're doing well, you're going far. But the truth is, if you want to really go far, you need to start with the right step. If you want to go fast, you can jump all the guns. You can jump all the steps. You'll be very fast, but you might not go far. So there are two different things, going far and going fast. And guess what? When you go too fast, you get tired on the way. And then you lose out of the battle. You lose out. So the first bucket that you must fill, must compulsorily, is knowledge. The second bucket you must fill, that comes automatically after getting knowledge, is your skills. Once you have knowledge, you automatically begin to build up skills. Once you apply those knowledge, you automatically begin to build skills. How did I become a registered care manager? How did I become, in my field of job, I am everything and everything. I can do everything. I can be on the front line. I can be on the managerial level. I can be on the compliance level. I can begin to create policies and procedures. Why? Because I've gained knowledge and I've applied those knowledge and I've gained skills. I'll still come back to I'll still tell you. So out of these 5 buckets, there are 2 of those buckets that no one can ever take from you. I'm sure you're already guessing what it is. If you already know what those, I've not mentioned the 5, but if you already know what the answer to those 2 buckets that can never be taken from you are, please put down in the comment section. I'll know you're following me. So once you gain skills, you become valuable to people. You become a person of importance. People want your skills, just like a doctor, a neurosurgeon, for example. A neurosurgeon is a valuable member of the team in a hospital. A nurse is a valuable member of the team in a hospital, because you need nurses, you need doctors. You see, they've gained skills. What skill are you investing in? What knowledge have you gotten, and what skill are you investing in? Because until you gain all these skills, you can't have a big shift. A big shift comes when you become a valuable member of a team. And then you begin to create big shifts. You begin to make a difference. You begin to take over. So when the year starts, everyone has, New Year resolutions. I want to do this. I want to do that. But what are you doing to get you to that point? The last speaker today talked about consistency. I've always been a person of consistency. I always talk about it as well. For you to become good at what you do, even with the skills that you have or the knowledge you have gained to propel you to gain more skills, you need to be consistently doing something. When you consistently do something, you find that you become a master of that thing. And that's why you see some people, they are so good at what they do. They are so valuable. If they want to leave your organization, you are more like, bargaining with them for a higher salary and things like that. Why? Because they have the knowledge and they build so much skills, they become valuable. How valuable are you in your place of work, or in your business fair, or even in your family? How valuable, what skills do you have that people are looking for? People see me, I do a lot of things. Now, doesn't mean I do everything for business. Most of the things I do them because I need all of these skills. When you are skillful, you are useful everywhere you go. Sometimes I go to a place and people say, Linda is a makeup artist, though. Don't even bother, she'll make up for you. I'm not doing makeup as a business. Or Linda cooks very well. Why are we stressing ourselves? Linda is here, you see? Or Linda is life of a party. She knows how to dance. She can, make everything. Or Linda knows how to decorate. She's very good at decoration. Why are we calling out somebody else? Let's call Linda. Skills. When you have all these skills, you become valuable. Valuable and wanted. People want you around. Now, what is the third bucket you have to fill? The third bucket you have to fill is who you know, your network. Now you've gotten knowledge, you've gotten skills. Now you begin to build your, do you know that your skills actually helps you to build your network? Because of the, I just gave an example of myself. Because of the kind of, skills I have, I begin to know, okay, I know people in the cooking industry, I know people in the makeup industry, I know people in the decorative industry, I know people in the caring industry. Why? Because of my skills. It has opened me to a group of network. And your network can actually open doors for you. I see people that say, oh, I don't make friends. It's not about making friends. It's about networking and knowing the right people to work with. See, God is not going to come from heaven to change your situation. He's going to use people around you to change yours, to shift, to give you that big shift. So your network is very important, but what kind of network do you have? If you have not, given yourself high skills, you cannot meet people of high importance as well. You need to be at that top position to meet people at that top as well. So that you need to build yourself to that level. You want to meet Bill Gates, for example, you need to have something to offer. You want to meet the king or, the mayor or, anyone doing, or even a director, a CEO. You need to have built your skills such that they will be the one even looking for you. Before you know it, you begin to build a net. So you see that somebody might, they say somebody is very rich. It might not be that the person has a lot of money in their account, but because of the network the person has, the kind of people around them, they have, all the rich friends around them. They roll with the high and the mighty. They've networked themselves with great people. If, for example, you see Bill Gates come to my house and I post it on social media, won't you begin to see me as a rich woman? This is how life is. So the kind of people you walk around, they say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. When you network, but how will you get to that level? That's why I said these things come in an order. Knowledge, skills. You need to have something to offer. You need to be valuable. You need to be a person of importance by building up yourself. And then before you know, you start networking with the right people. And when you begin to network with the right people, what happens? You begin to get resources, which brings me to the fourth point, which is what you have. You begin to build resources. So somebody says, oh, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Start by getting knowledge. Build your skills. Your skills will bring about good network. And before you know it, resources will be there for you to do what you want to do. Then you see that big shift that you have dreaming of begin to come. Like I said, I like what the last guy said. He said, make your vision your obsession. Before you know it, that vision you're seeing will become an obsession. I have a way I like to do my things. I have a way I love my house to look. I have a way I love to look. I have a way, I love to dress. Envision it and begin to walk towards those things. Now the fifth point, which is what the world thinks of you. Now, you've gotten knowledge, you've gotten skills, you have a great network, you have resources. What happens next? You begin to build a reputation. What do people think about you? What can people say about you? Reputation is the opinion of people about you, the belief of people about you. So now you've built network, you build skills. What are people going to be saying? Oh, that girl, she's great. She's doing well. If you see her clique of friends, anything she does, very powerful. You need to invite her. Or when she comes to a place, she lightens up what kind of reputation? Or she's a person of awards. If she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. You see, you begin to build your own reputation. And it's your reputation as well that makes room for you. Therefore, you're going to experience your big shifts. And you take over. It's so simple. But following it in the right order. Once you want to start with your reputation, leave reputation aside. Or you want to start with, where are you going to get the resources? Are you going to do Yahoo Yahoo? Are you going to steal? Are you going to be a prostitute? No. You cannot just suddenly begin to get resources. No. Because it will be questioned. Where did you get them from? You need to start from building your knowledge and your skills. There comes your network, your resources, and then you begin to build a reputation. People can boldly say, oh, I know how she got her wealth. I remember her when she used to, roam around the street doing care work and, how she was working as a manager. And now I can remember how, she bought her first house or her second house or what. You build a reputation. Don't jump the gun. Don't try to be anybody. Follow the path that God has destined for you to follow. This is a new year. Every new year, people have resolutions, but I'm telling you guys, 2025 is a year that God wants to, bring a big shift in our lives. And if we can just do things the right way, I'm telling you, things will change. Things will change. If invest in, having knowledge, understanding, knowing things and the right things. Invest in your skills, whatever skills you have. See Vicky James, what was she doing? I know she talks a lot on social media, but I want to, talk about her skills. She developed herself in sewing. Sewing. I mean, at first, at the beginning of her career, she started with doing different things. Makeup today, if you look at her story, she was doing makeup, she was doing all kinds of things. At the end of the day, these things are even working for her because right now, she hardly calls makeup, except she's going for something important. She hardly calls makeup artists come and makeup. She makes up for herself when she's going out. So she has saved money for herself. She invested her skills in her sewing. In those days when sewing was like, and see her today, charging in dollars and in pounds. What skills has God given to you? What can you work with? The Bible says, what do you have in your hands? Don't say I have nothing. You definitely have. God has created us with something. You have something that you can run with. I'm reading a book, and there was something that I was so powerful in that book. It says, if you truly understand how these 5 buckets work, like I just mentioned to you, knowledge, skills, resources, network, reputation. He said, if you really understand it, you understand that a job that pays you slightly more cash, but gives you less knowledge and fewer skills, is a low-paying job. Some people are all about the money. If it's not big money, they don't want to go. No, sometimes you have to look in depth. Look at what people are not seeing. Look at the experience you're going to gain. Look at the skills you're going to gain, the knowledge you're going to gain. And ask yourself, is it worth it? Don't be all about, because once you do all of these things, I'm telling you, you will not miss it. The resources will definitely come. That big money you're looking for is definitely going to come. And don't forget, money is not the solution to life. The more money you have, the more problems you have. That's why you have to get things right in the first place. Because in life, certain things will happen. There's what we call the professional earthquake. A professional earthquake can be you just suddenly lost your job, or suddenly your business that was doing well suddenly started coming crashing down. Or things just start happening. You don't even understand your left from your right. That's a professional earthquake. And it can happen to anybody. Even those that have planned. I hear at the moment now, Facebook is having problems and crisis with finances and all. I mean, things can go wrong. But let me tell you, no matter the financial earthquake that comes into your life, there are 2 of those buckets that can never be taken from you. I ask people to put that in the comment section. Now we've got the 5 buckets. We've got skills, we've got knowledge, we've got resources, we've got network, and we've got reputation. When there's a professional earthquake, your reputation can be tarnished. People can say, oh, she used to have a business before, she no longer has a business. Oh, sorry for her. Network, people can leave you. People only follow people that are doing well. By the time things are no longer working for you, you'll find that you have less networking. People don't really want to be around you anymore. Resources, obviously, if things are not working for you, what happens? Your resources are gone. But you know that no matter what happens, the skills and the knowledge you have gained, they are within you. Nobody can ever take it from you. This is why you must invest at the beginning, at the start of your life. And it's never too late. So nobody should say, oh, I've grown old, it's too late to do all these things. No, it's never too late. It's a new year. You can start by gaining skills, gaining knowledge, and before you know it, the resources, networking, and reputation will come your way. Guys, I hope you've had a nice time. If you have, please put that in the comment section. If you've learned anything, please let us know in the comment section. And if you have questions for me, my name on Instagram is Real in the Farms. You can always send me a message and I'll be there to respond to you. Thank you and God bless. Thank you, Emma, for having me. God bless you all. Bye for now.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mom Linda Farms, for that beautiful session. Thank you so much. My notes is full already. I really learned a lot. So thank you so much for honoring our invitation once again. It has really been an awesome moment during this special business symposium. Thank you so much. So everyone, that is on this call, you've heard yourself that if you want to make a big shift in your business, you need to first fill the bucket of knowledge. You fill for skills, you fill for your network, that is who you know, you fill for resources, and finally, you fill for your reputation. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this awesome session. We are really grateful. I am appreciating you on behalf of the top performers community. Thank you so much, ma. And if you've got questions, please ask. If not, I will just take a moment to share a few announcements. By 9 p.m. tonight, right, we are going to be having the closing night session of the grand finale of the Take Charge 2025 conference. So 9 p.m. tonight, go and set your alarm, set your reminders. 9 p.m. is the closing session, and you can testify already that it has been value upon value since day one of the conference. So remember, we have saved the best for the last, and that is today. By 9 p.m. tonight, we are going to be closing our session, all right? Also, tonight, we are going to be launching our website, all right? The Top Performance Community website is going to be launched, so get ready for that awesome moment. Also, I am dropping the links to our social medias, right, in the comments, so endeavor to follow us, all right? Endeavor to follow us on all our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all right? The link is in the comments. And we are going to be having also a closing prayer by our very own Pastor Bankole David, all right? To close up the Take Charge 2025 program, we are going to be having Pastor Bankole David, and we are also going to be having Mr. Sheyi Agbede from Dublin to wrap up the Take Charge conference. So once again, the links to our social media handles are in the chats. Please do make sure to join us. One more thing is that we are going to be giving free resources tonight. We're going to be dropping free resources tonight also. So please make sure to join and, take advantage of these resources. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much once again. I want to appreciate you on behalf of the administration, on behalf of the Top Performance Community Executive and leadership. Thank you so much for taking out time out of your busy schedule to attend this special business program. It has really been an awesome session. Thank you so much, Mr. Justin, if you are still on the call. Thank you so much, Ma'am Linda Farms also. Thank you so much for the insightful and powerful sessions. At this point, I want to say, do have a great day ahead. Have a great day. Have a blessed and productive day. Thank you so much.